Come on in. You can have a seat in this chair right here.
Okay, thank you.
Is the seating arrangement okay if I sit right across from you?
Yeah, I really don't care. It's fine.
So you're Morgan, correct?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. I'm Allison. I'm a licensed social worker here at the agency. I'd like to start out by saying that I'm really happy that you're here. We're really happy to have you. I know that you spoke a little bit with our intake person about confidentiality. I think he probably asked you a lot of questions about why you're seeking treatment, but I kind of want to go over some of those things with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So for confidentiality, I guess the main points are that if I deem that you're an immediate harm to yourself, to someone else, to a child, to an adult, or to a disabled person, that is the only time that I will have to go to someone else and tell them information from our session. Besides those very few points, everything that you tell me is in confidentiality, and I will not be telling anyone else. Is that okay with you?
Hold on. So if I tell you that I spank my kid or something, are you gonna go tell the police and have them taken away?
No, that's a really good question. No, spanking is a different situation. If I feel that you are an immediate harm, like the spanking is getting out of hand, or a spank for as a punishment turns into something that you just begin to kind of hit your child for other reasons, I will have a conversation with you, and if I feel that it is becoming an issue, then I will have to go to someone else. But your choice to spank your child as a punishment is your choice. And I think that we could get into that later too if you want options for punishment and things like this.
Okay.
Okay? Does that seem okay with you?
Yeah.
I also want to let you know that I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I want you only to answer as much as you're comfortable. I want you to know that this is not, I don't want you to feel forced to be here or that I'm only trying to get information out of you. But I also want you to know that as much as you give me, we can get a lot out of our relationship with one another. I hope that you're here to receive something out of these sessions. So as much as you give me, I can give back to you, and we can work towards bigger goals. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think before I want to discuss goals, I want to discuss why you feel that you are here today or why you felt the need to come in. Would you feel comfortable telling me a few sentences about why you're here?
Well, I don't know how much to give you, but basically my mom said that if I don't come to therapy, then she's going to take me to court and fight for the custody of my kids.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that your mother is threatening to take custody of your child. That can be a really emotional time for any parent, and I want you to know that there are many resources out there. There are lawyers that work pro bono. There are other resources that will help you in retaining custody of your child. Could you tell me a little bit about why your mother is threatening these things?
Well, I don't know if you know this already, but I'm only 18. I have 2 kids, and my mom obviously helps me a lot because, what am I supposed to do? I can't work a job that's good enough to support me and 2 kids. So basically what's happened recently is I used to live with my boyfriend, who is the father of my 2 kids, but we both kind of decided that our working situations aren't bringing in enough money for us. So he went and signed up to be in the Army, and so now he's in boot camp. And so I had to move back in with my parents, so now I'm living at home again.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been really difficult. I don't have the greatest relationship with my parents, and my mom wants me to go back to school to get my GED, which makes things even harder because then I can't work.
Sure.
So I really have to rely on her for everything, and she feels like I owe her a lot because she decided to quit her job so she could be my personal babysitter.
Okay. So I'm really glad with all of the information that you decided to tell me. I think that this information is really going to help us. What I'm understanding is that you live with your parents again, which is really difficult for you because you don't feel like you have a strong relationship with them, but you sort of need them to help with your children. I think that asking for help is really strong in the first place, and I really commend you for that. I'm also hearing that your boyfriend enlisted in the military and he's gone. He's at boot camp. Okay. So that can be really hard as well. Did you feel that he was one of the stronger support systems that you had? Do you guys have a good relationship with one another?
I mean, I guess it's good. Like, could be better. We could make like a lot of money and have good jobs and have a nice house and everything. But he did bring in not a good income, but I don't know, was good enough for us at the time being.
Okay.
But it's not going to last forever, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really missing him,
Yeah.
especially because now I have to live with my parents. He didn't boss me around and like tell me what to do and everything.
Yeah.
So.
What I'm also understanding is that possibly a lot of your issues are with money. Do you find that you focus on the idea of money a lot? It seems that a lot of things you're telling me kind of revert back to the idea that you don't have a lot of money or maybe a very stable job. Does that really bug you?
Yeah, it does. Like, I had to drop out of school because I had a baby, and so I don't even have a high school diploma, and I was supposed to get a job, like at some fast food restaurant or something, or retail. I don't know. I've had multiple, but doesn't support me enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't support my family. So money is a big problem. Raising kids is expensive, and with my education, I can't do it alone.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that you're a bit frustrated with the money that you are making and the lack of jobs that you can get because you don't have a high school education. Have you looked into any welfare services or services for single mothers that can provide aid and assistance?
No, I haven't, mostly because my parents are willing to help on their terms. But I haven't looked into any of that. It's kind of embarrassing when you like go to the store and you see those people pull out their WIC cards or something. I don't want to be like that, you know.
Well, it's completely normal to feel embarrassed about these resources, but I want to let you know that they're extremely helpful, that they can really help you in the long run. There are a ton of options for resources for single mothers, as well as for families of military personnel. We have brochures and things like that that I would love to discuss with you maybe after this session on your way out, and we could really look into those if that sounds like a good option for you.
I'll consider it.
Okay, that's really good. I'm really glad. I'd like to kind of switch space now, maybe to look at the relationships that you have and the support that you feel you have. So at this time in your life, who do you find or feel is your strongest support?
Well, financially, it's my parents.
Okay.
Like I said, they're giving me a place to stay. Granted, I have to sleep in my old bedroom with my 2 kids.
Okay.
So that's not really ideal.
I see that you sometimes, when you mention living with your parents, kind of roll your eyes and say on their terms. Do you feel that they're taking, or they take you kind of for granted, or they hold it over your head that you're living with them again?
Yeah, I think they, what you said, hold it over my head.
Yeah.
It's like being a teenager again. I mean, I'm not like really an adult, I guess. I'm only 20 years old, but like, it's like I live with them again, and I'm 15, and I have chores, and I have to run errands and stuff, and you know, except now I have to like pay a little rent here and there, and you know, pick up dinner sometimes and everything. But financially, they're my biggest support, and they really help with my kids because, like I said, I can't do it on my own.
Yeah, of course.
But they're not very supportive mentally or emotionally.
Okay. I would like to offer an option that maybe at one of our later dates, perhaps your parents could come in for half a session and we could all sit down and use myself almost as a mediator between the two parties to kind of discuss if there's been any miscommunication. From my point of view, it seems that you feel like your parents treat you like you're in high school again, or that you're just their little girl again. And I would love to hear from them as well about how they feel towards you, and maybe connect some bridges and hopefully mend some relationships so that your time living at home is more positive. I don't want to pressure you into that if you're not comfortable, but I want to let you know that that is an option. Would you be interested in that at all? Maybe later, at a later date, nothing too soon.
I mean, it's not going to be pretty.
Okay.
I think they'd like it. I guess it might be able to help me in some way, so
Okay.
I'll think about it.
I'm really glad that you're thinking about that. I think that that shows that you're willing, at least, to mend a relationship with them. And I think that'll be really good, especially since you are all living under the same roof. I think having positive relationships would be really good for you. I'd like to also discuss your role as a mother. Would you be willing to tell me 2 strengths you feel as a mom?
I mean, I guess one of them could be that I'm affectionate and I show them love,
That's really good.
and I've given up a lot of my life for them. Like, I didn't want to move back home with my parents, but I guess I had to for my kids because
Okay.
it's what's best for them. So
Yeah.
I made a lot of, giving up a lot of things for them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's really great. I want to commend you on both of those things and all of your duties as a mother. I know that being a mom is not always easy, especially in such a confusing time in your life with not having their father around. I think that it's really important for you in this time to focus on your strengths, both as a person in your community, as a mother, as a girlfriend. I think that focusing on our strengths can really change our mindset about our situations. Would you be willing to maybe through the weeks that we're together, just once or twice a week, jot down some good things you do with your kids? I think we could start with your role as a mother.
That should be pretty easy, I guess.
Okay. You don't have to discuss them with me, but I think that writing them down and really thinking about that could change your mindset about who you are. To me, it seems that when you tell me things that there isn't much good in your life, that you aren't financially stable, you feel almost a little embarrassed for having to live with your kids or for having to live with your parents again. But I think that focusing on all the good things you're doing right now is going to really help change that mindset as well. I think that'd be really great for you. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. We only have a few minutes left. I'd like to discuss your education. So you said you didn't finish high school.
No.
Okay, and your parents would like you to get your GED?
Yeah, it'll open a lot more job opportunities for me.
Okay, and that's definitely true. Have you thought about it at all? Like wanting to do it, or is it just whenever they mention it, that's when you think about it?
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it. It's just
Okay.
like, is it possible? Like, do I have time for it? Can I, give up what I'm doing now and go back and get it and take the time out to even get it? And do I even remember everything I learned
Yeah.
like 4 years ago?
So what I'm understanding is maybe you don't feel like you have the time to receive your GED or to take the classes, and maybe you won't remember things that you learned from high school. Again, there are great services. A lot of GED programs understand that they're typically parents, they're working people, that the time is really hard. There are a lot of classes you can take online for your GED. There's a lot of financial aid with the classes you take as well. And I would love to discuss some of those things with you because I think getting your GED would be really great for you. I think it would really help you with your financial situation. And I think it would really help you as a person to really get back into the swing of school and learning some things. Did you find in high school that you were a good student until you had to step back?
Yeah, I got like B's and a couple A's here and there, so I
Okay.
guess I was good. I was pretty involved. I did some sports and I was involved in some groups and stuff. I even helped kids tutor sometimes.
Oh, that's really great.
And I got pregnant and everything was ruined.
Okay.
So,
So I'm hearing that you were a very active student, which is really, really great. I think especially as a mother to be active and you were tutoring other kids, I think that that could come in handy being a mother as well. Again, I'd love to look into with you to some GED services. I think at our next session too, I'd love to begin by going over some goals that you want to get from these sessions. Would you be comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, I might as well get some stuff done while I'm here. So.
Yeah, so I think for our next session and sessions going forward, I'd love you to come up with maybe 2 or 3 big overall goals you'd like to see yourself achieve from these sessions, and then perhaps some little goals along the way that could help lead you to those overall goals. Would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I think that should be pretty easy.
Perfect. Okay, so I think we have our sessions set up for once a week, so I'll see you next week. I'm going to give you my business card, and I want you to contact me either by email or phone if anything comes up. You can also always call the agency if you don't want to contact me directly, and they'll try to help you reschedule if need be. We're really accommodating for parents and working parents. We know that you're busy.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming in today, and I'll see you next week.
All right, thanks.
Okay.